Hello everyone and welcome back to a Monday tag video. It's also release day for Elixir of Flight, so I thought I'd find a tag that's writing related and that can explore this new book of mine that's released today. So I found something that's called Your Story tag. I found it by researching all the tags Julian Greystock has done, and I stole this one. It was a bit of a challenge to actually find the questions, as Julian didn't have them listed. The original creator of this tag no longer has the tag on their channel, so I just found author Jessi Elliott, who has done this tag and who has the questions listed. So without any further ado, let's get started. Oh, if you're new here and you haven't met me before, my name is Alina, I'm an author and I post videos on YouTube about books and writing. Also, it's really cool that I have this huge tablet and I can read off it the questions for the tag, and I don't have to struggle with my tiny little phone. This is so great. Okay, let's get started. First question, tell us about your story. Well, Elixir of Flight is a gay science fiction adventure. It centers on Michael, who's a flyer. This is sort of an alien being that looks like a biblical angel. Like, they have wings and everything, but they're used as sort of the enforcers and guardians of the Intergalactic Alliance. Michael has been introduced in book 1, Angel's Feather. Right now it's still 99 cents until the end of the day today, and he is on a journey to find this almost mythical sanctuary called Ishtar. He's traveling with his flyer friend Samandriel and with his human lover Adam. Adam is in a deep state of stasis for reasons I can't mention because I would spoil the first book, so you'll have to read all about it there. In their journey to Ishtar, they have to somehow dodge the Intergalactic Alliance, who would try to catch them. Adam would be killed if that happened, so there's a lot going on in this story. Is this part of Camp NaNoWriMo, or personal? I don't understand how it would be personal. It's something that I did barely sort of write during Nano. There was a bit at the end where I wrote like a few thousand words of this story, but it's one of my many projects that are supposed to be written and published this year. 20-something books, remember, because I'm insane, basically. Tell us about your characters. Like I said, the protagonist of this story is Michael. Unlike in the first book where the protagonist was his lover Adam, Michael is a flyer. He's been a flyer for a very long time because they have really long lifespans, and he spent all that time fighting for the Intergalactic Alliance without questioning their rules or their orders much. And then when he went to Earth to guard that particular planet, things started to change, and the biggest change in his life was falling in love with Adam, because that should technically be an impossibility for flyers. The other main characters of this story are Samandriel, his friend. Again, flyers feel sort of a kinship to their other flyer squad members and squad leaders, but friendship is not a concept they knew much about before this happened. And Adam, of course, who, like I said, for the first part of this story, for the introduction, is in a state of deep sleep. 2 flyers, 1 human, 1 ship, and a race for a sanctuary that may or may not exist, so that should be interesting. Your favorite friendship. For this story in particular, it's the friendship between Samandriel and Michael. They are quite different, although they have a very similar background, and they've been affected by their time on Earth in different ways. Samandriel got even snarkier than he used to be. That's my dog, by the way. The moment I turn the camera on, he starts moving around. So Samandriel is this sarcastic, snarky sort of a fellow, and Michael was supposed to be the leader of the squad guarding Earth, so he's supposed to be this imposing, strong flyer, which he no longer is because he questions everything about himself. And his perspective shifted a lot, and it now focuses on protecting Adam, and the way their relationship becomes stronger and their friendship grows. It was really a pleasure for me to write. What is your favorite romance? Well, as this is a gay romance, other than being a science fiction adventure, my favorite romance in this book is the only one that's explored, and that's the romance between Michael and Adam. There's also this longing for romance, which Samandriel displays, and that will probably lead to something in future books of this series, so stay tuned. What is the saddest scene in your story? Well, I can't beat anything that happened in book 1, so there is one scene that's sad and that affects Michael and Adam, but I can't tell you much about it because it would spoil a lot of things. Doesn't this tag suck? Well, not the tag, the way I'm doing it, that's what I mean. What is your favorite scene? Oh, this is like choosing your favorite baby or your favorite book. Or, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry, you'll have to read and decide which is your favorite scene, because I can't choose. What is your opening scene? The book opens on the deck of a flyer ship, which is Michael's ship. Michael is just staring outside while they fly through subspace. Subspace is my world's variant of hyperspace, and it's this different dimension through space that allows you to fly at faster than light speeds, and Michael is just sat there on the deck and contemplating life and who he is, because everything's shifting and he has no idea what's going on anymore. How did this story come about? I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a natural sequel to what happened in book 1, but the idea of flyers and humans falling in love, that was something I've been thinking for a long time. It took years to get this story out, especially for Angel's Feather, because the first part I wrote quite fast, and then I needed a huge break before I started the second part because that was kind of dark and hard to write. And I just had this idea about winged beings that might look like angels and might make us think of all the biblical mythology we know, but yet there's nothing supernatural about them, they're just alien beings. And I thought that would be an interesting concept to explore. And I took the sort of restraint of angels, the fact that they shouldn't fall in love or have any sort of connection with mortals, and turned it into a trait of their race, I guess. So yeah, that was a fun way of playing with mythology. I do that a lot. What is the theme of your story? In this one, it kind of relates to the title, which is Elixir of Flight. It's about the truth of someone's nature and what happens when that nature is being toyed with and hidden and they're forced to become something they're not. It's pretty much a theme of seeking truth despite the consequences that truth might bring, because in this world the mysteries Samandriel and Michael unveil could pretty much destroy the entire structure of the Intergalactic Alliance. So it's a tough and dangerous pill to swallow. I think that kind of sums up the major themes of the story. What isn't working in your story? Well, this is a complete story. It's been edited and proofread, so I think it's working right now. The part that's not working for my editor is that I didn't get to writing Samandriel's story, but that's coming in book 3 and she'll be happy with that. But you know, that happens when There is a series, you just wanted it all now, but that's not going to happen. So Lindsay, if you're watching this, you will have to wait for June. Well, no, actually you'll get it sooner because you'll have to edit it. So you'll see some Unreal story before everyone else. Yay! Aren't you happy about that? What is the one thing you love about your story? There isn't one thing in particular I love about the story. I do like the world I've built for my flyers and my humans. I do like the way I played with myths and with names that kind of go back to Sumer and Mesopotamia, and I did a lot of research in that sort of part of mythology to come up with names, and it's been interesting. I mean, I don't know, I can't say there's the one thing I love about the story above anything else. I don't know how people do it. Do you plan to publish? Well, like I said, this is released now. It's just been released today, so clearly I was planning on publishing it. So yeah, maybe I didn't choose the best tag to fit the published story, but now you have a better idea of Elixir of Flight, and I invite you to go on Amazon. It's an Amazon exclusive, so both books are also available in Kindle Unlimited. If you want to get a better feel of the atmosphere of the first book, Angel's Feather, there's a book trailer I just released, so I will link to that. Yeah, go check them out. Go check both books out. I hope you found the tag interesting, even if this is more appropriate for a work in progress, not a published book. Thanks, Julian, for doing all the tags in the world, because then I can just go there and steal them easily. And thank you all for watching. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, comment down below, and if you haven't done this tag, which I think is pretty old by now, and if you would like to do it, please consider yourself tagged. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, because that helps me quite a bit to take over the world through YouTube subscribers. No, I keep thinking that if I say this several times it will start making sense at some point, but it still doesn't. That doesn't mean I will stop and will not take over the world through YouTube subscribers. I will get there one day. So yeah, have a lovely week. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy Elixir of Flight. Bye!